This is Ellie Stone. I'm going to talk about confusion and how often it's not really that confusing, how getting upset about it usually makes more confusion than it's actually worth, and how the actual word confusing makes people think of something that it isn't. That makes it confusing. When you think about confusion, you think, well, there must be some answer to it, but asking that can often make the boundaries even larger to get into your goal, which can make more confusion. And answering your own question, what is confusion, is almost accepting that there is confusion, So it's almost self-defeating like most things. But when you ask the question, what part of me actually made this confusing, then you start to get more answers about the confusion itself, and you think, well, inside me, I thought a few things like, how hard was it for me to get to this point? And you start to recalculate steps that got you there, and you think confusion is not too much of a thing in the first place. When you think about it, it's just acting on impulse at the end of the day, and you're just thinking, well, there was actually no point in me getting to this point because confusion wasn't matter in the first place. So you start to wonder, well, if the point is confusion, then where do I start from here? And it just goes back at itself. So it's best to just step as far away from confusion as possible, to be honest. Another example is rhetorical questions. They say rhetorical question is something that makes you think about something more by asking the same thing twice, but actually asking the same thing twice is just emphasising that problem even further and making people give you answers which you never had before, therefore answering your own question, which you didn't have the answer to in the first place. So by being confused, you're actually asking the question, well, can somebody help me? Rather than actually saying, well, I'm helping you, help me, not help you, help me in the first place, which they say is rhetorical. And confusion can be good if you're asking for help, but if you're asking for the answer, then it's not actually that helpful to be confused in the first place, if you get me. Which is another example of how celebrities try to warp your mind, basically.